Ladies and gentlemen, we are the three philosophers. We're here to talk about everything. We're here to talk about nothing. We're here to talk about hopefully something that interests you, excites you, makes you think.
Talk about some pasta. Heaven is eternal and earth is lasting. How can they be eternal and lasting? Because they do not live for themselves. This is how they cannot be eternal. Whoa, this is how they can be eternal. Sorry, hiccup burp thing. Therefore, the sage puts himself last and becomes the first, neglects himself, and is preserved. It is not because he is unselfish that he fulfills. Is it not because he is unselfish that he fulfills himself? Damn, I wrote the shit out of that. Well, you know, whatever.
Look it up. It's the Tao.
Yeah, that's chapter 7.
Fuck you, look it up.
Okay, we want to go into the giveaway.
Do our job.
Oh, yeah. Giveaway.
So Brett came up with this fantastic idea working with the guys at Ion CBD. So the announcement is this podcast, we're going to give away this fine vape pen and this, 5 mil
12
e-vape
mil.
liquid. Is it
that
12
5?
mil total?
It's a 5, yeah.
It's a 5.
Yeah, this is a 5 mil. And this is a full spectrum concentrate max strength CBD. And to qualify for this, basically what you're going to have to do is watch this podcast, and you have to like us, like this podcast, and put comments. It's very important to put comments.
You have to put a comment. Just comment CBD. That way,
Put first.
when we randomize it, we know who to pick. You have to comment and to be eligible for.
Yeah.
What's
So
going on
basically,
here.
subscribe to our YouTube podcast, like the podcast, and then put comments. And then what we'll do is
You subscribe.
we'll use a scrambler program and randomly select the winner and notify the winner on the next podcast, and then we'll ship this nice gift, $150 value, to your person, so you can personally try out CBD.
And it's cool to ship anywhere in the United States, maybe, probably.
Right.
Yeah, we can't do international.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No international.
No
for
international, United States.
Some of our
is
German
dope.
watchers out there. We still have a. Is that the biggest?
They
When-
prove
oh,
it. That's not German.
No. No, it's mainly been English, like UK-ish.
I mean, at one time,
We had Germans.
Yeah,
We had Germans.
No, I
our
don't
biggest-
like this podcast. It's no good. It's niche good. These three philosophers are
Nine.
bastards.
Your
Nine.
safe word, strawberry.
Oh, and we have a special guest today. We're doing the theme now to have guest speakers. In this case, we have Steve the Unicorn. And Steve the Unicorn, you can check him out on Facebook. He has his own Facebook site.
Let's not get him on fire.
Yeah, we're trying to not
That'd be
catch him
funny.
on fire. But Steve the Unicorn,
Oh, there's a dude in his butt.
yeah, there is a dude in his ass. He came this way. We found him this way. He will not be speaking during the podcast because, everyone knows unicorns talk to the telepathically.
Despicable Me Too.
So, if we have questions, maybe you can put them in the comments, and
not
we'll try to
that
bring them back next time.
Steve's not old. The prophets, you don't belong here. This podcast is shit. I'm sorry. Were we doing something? What?
I don't know. I forgot.
Since we're doing a giveaway on CBD, that stuff does make you feel a little good inside. Mean like you get pretty much a body high, but you won't pop
It's
a piss
not.
test.
Don't even say hi. It's
Sensation. Like it was 90 degrees outside. I hit that like 3 times, and the air felt like a nice blanket.
I mean, okay, so you start, Sean. You describe the effects of CBD, especially this type device of the full spectrum.
Well,
To you.
let's start out like this. Dad, if you watch this, oh well, I'm a grown ass man. So,
2013.
our buddy Chris, the owner of Ion CBD, who was on the last podcast, he brought this up to me and Jason. And I can't smoke marijuana, and I can't enjoy its effects because my new company is randomly piss testing. He told me to hit it twice. I have bad knee pains and bad back and neck pains.
Patty
My
whack, give the
back.
dog a bone.
So I hit it like 2 fucking good times and blast off. My head felt like it didn't exist. My legs felt like jello. My back and knee pains were gone. And I didn't hate anybody because I was at work at that time.
So Steve asks if CBD will help him with the pain of the man that lives in his ass.
Yeah. He won't even feel his ass.
Nice.
He can take a shit and he won't even know.
Well, rainbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Unicorn
the guy
shit
got to go
rainbows.
out of the way first.
Ray Ramos?
No, it's amazing
Unicorn
stuff.
shit rainbows.
Who's
And-
Ray Ramos?
Rainbows.
Oh.
I did take a piss test recently. By recently, I mean Monday. And when this comes out, so last Monday. Or a few days ago. Who knows when this is coming out. I came clean. CBD will not...
CBD
will
cannot
not pop.
set off a pee test.
Yeah,
It
it lacks
doesn't have shit in
THC.
it that gets you high.
Yeah, because it doesn't have THC. Zero THC.
The medical properties in it is crazy.
So for me,
The Probius.
same thing. Chris brought it up to me. I took 2 draws on it. Couldn't feel my feet for about 20 or 30 seconds, and then laughed like a silly girl for about 30 minutes.
That's cool.
But then for about 2 or 3 hours, it was just kind of euphoric.
Yeah, you feel better.
Very calm, in a better mood. Definitely more tolerant. I find I could deal with people that would normally aggravate me or piss me off or irritate me. So the CBD for me just relaxes me and makes me in a better mood, makes me more tolerant with just life.
Makes you deal tolerable.
Yeah, and then
You
later
tolerate shit.
you do kind of come down for me for after about an hour or two. I come down and I
like
kind of get tired.
completely yeah.
So it'll probably late at night help you sleep.
Yeah, it helps me sleep, and I have bad insomnia.
Oh, okay. So the best way to describe this was, it's like you have an amount of fucks that you don't give. And you carry those fucks with you in like a hobo satchel. With like a bandana full of fucks wrapped around a stick that's slung over your shoulder. And when you need one, you just
getting really elaborate.
you just fling that thing over, you reach inside that bandana, and you throw a couple fucks. You're like, here you go. When you smoke this, you take those fucks, and you go,
Put them in a glass bowl?
Nope, you eat them. And you go, oh, wow, those give a fucks just went like this inside me. And I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like I've been having bad anxiety about that piss test for my new job. Thought I wasn't
Smoke
gonna
some weed about it.
Yeah. And I pick him up right after it, and I hit that vape pen, which you will win if you you'll get. Yeah, that's what it is. 2 draws on it, and I was just like, I don't care anymore.
And I don't even like to say it like that because I don't want people to think it's something that like, oh, it's like a drug that you smoke.
It's meant to be like a vitamin.
Yeah,
Vitamin,
but
it's
it's
supposed to
like
help.
something that you can hit in the morning and then not even think about it for the rest of the day until you get back home and see your pen. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot I
Off
did that
topic,
this morning.
on topic type of deal. Did you hear the Jeff Sessions shit about medical marijuana?
No, enlighten me.
Okay. I'm going to butcher the shit out of it because I don't know the actual bill, what it's called. But it's supposed to
Numbers and letters.
stop the DOJ from investing money to investigate medical marijuana or some stuff like that. So he wants Congress to let that happen. So vote on it to allow it and go back. So slowly
So
kind of take away
In
medical
essence,
marijuana.
and this is off topic because we're talking about CBD and
Yeah.
and
Still medical.
Obviously, marijuana is
It's
THC.
completely different, yeah.
But THC, for those of you who don't know, and everyone probably should know or does know, is Schedule 1, which means no medical value. Which is kind of funny because I've been on Maribol out in California, which is a synthetic THC that is patented and owned by the government and a pharmaceutical company. Even though it has no medical value, somehow they gave it to me for medicine. But if you grow it in your backyard, all of a sudden it's not medicine. It's Schedule 1.
They're going to treat you like a terrorist.
Yeah, you're treated like a terrorist. They're going to show up in an armored personnel carrier with all these dudes in flak jackets. They're going to kick in your door, shoot your dog, and confiscate all your house and all your belongings because I don't know, you have this plant growing in your backyard. So hopefully we're out of the dark ages eventually. But with this fucktard Jeff Sessions, who seems to want to put us back in the dark ages, maybe that won't happen as fast as we expected. It's the mirror. We've got mirror. Like frankincense and myrrh. But yeah, along those lines, kind of like what our pre-podcast to the podcast, what Brett and I were talking about is
Arguing.
My question was, philosophy basically starts with philosophy starts with since the dawn of humans, we question a couple things, right? We question why are we here and what happens when we die and kind of what the purpose of life is. So everything fundamentally started with that. That's where all religion comes from. That's what all religion attempts to explain in one form or another. So my question is, in 2017, why don't we know that by now? Why don't we take scientific research or scientific resources and money, and instead of worrying about how to develop a Moab, the mother of all bombs, why don't we take money instead of buying an aircraft carrier and try to figure out once and for all, unequivocally, why are we here? Where did we come from? Where do we go? There doesn't seem to be a lot of resources. And I'll let you come up with your argument. Yeah. So Brett's concern was that would basically turn people who are stuck in a specific religion, they'd turn that world upside down, and they would not like that.
Yeah, no,
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's just that religion is the thing that gives you the answers already to those questions.
So why have the facts when you have faith?
Oh, well, faith is something that I've listened to a lot of people, and it's something that is individual to everyone, but essentially it's the same. It's breathing. It's how you breathe. You don't breathe the same way as I breathe. I don't breathe the same way you breathe, but we all take air in and out. So faith is sort of like that. Like you get your
out with it, Junior.
Whoa.
I get it. It's like a fingerprint. Everyone has one, but it's slightly different.
Yeah. And stripping away people of that thing that they have been classifying, not only themselves, but generations of them through this fingerprint.
I just think it's
given people the ability to go, that fingerprint might be complete bullshit and you just wasted your life for nothing. It's too much of a gamble for everyone accumulatively to agree to take.
But if you have, let's say there's a 50-50 shot and you're,
That's what I think it is. Yeah.
Jewish.
Yeah.
And there's a 50% chance that every single thing you believe in Judaism is 100% fact, unequivocally. We've got scientific evidence. This is real. Maybe I'm just the exception to the rule. I roll them dice.
You'd have to be, yeah.
I want to know.
Because how many stubborn people are going to go, no, I've lived my life by the way of these laws that were supposedly written by this God.
But it seems the stubborn people would want vindication. They would want to be proven right. Like this dude, was it North Carolina that built the giant ark?
Yeah, but faith itself proves itself correctly.
He's a creationist.
Faith isn't something that you need to prove
or disprove.
Yeah,
you just believe it.
It's just,
and
it's not something that can be like your faith, whatever that is, will not be able to be interpreted by me.
Like,
because it's going to be different. It's a fingerprint, but it's on a finger, but it's not the same.
There's
print.
no way for me to 100% convey my inner deepest feelings through these mouth words that we use.
you gotta
And,
slap
there,
your
and
dick on the table.
there's no way for it to
Emotionally.
be... I lost it.
So my solution is all scientists to get a PhD in any discipline must take 7 sessions of ayahuasca, 3 heroic doses of mushrooms, and 17 heroic doses of LSD before they're allowed to get their PhD.
Instead of creating like an 800-page essay.
I think that
Just
would
go
give-
do
Instead of
doses.
writing, you get to do drugs?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is this school at? Dude, I'll have a
It's
PhD
medicine.
tomorrow.
It's medicine. It's not drugs.
Go take all
Drugs
that.
have side effects.
Yeah, take all that and then do a 2-hour lecture.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to do that.
I mean, imagine a
LSD.
biologist.
That's your dissertation.
So imagine a biologist who's studying how plants interact and blah, 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 blah. And they've just gotten back from Peru, taken 3 sessions of ayahuasca. Imagine the difference in their mindset when they look at these plants. They're going to look at those plants as living, sentient beings.
Well, they
So how
are.
does that, exactly.
We know
So
that
how
they
does that
communicate.
change their research? How does that change? I mean, perspective changes. I mean, that's like a perspective of a cop, right? If I'm a cop and I just smoked a shit ton of ganja and I'm about love and peace,
Brother.
I'm going to treat you a little bit differently than if I'm an anal, white privileged,
Oh, yeah.
been picked on since I was 9 because I was fat, and you happen to be a minority.
Let me break out that white privilege card.
Yeah. I mean,
Whoa, yours looks just like mine.
Whoa. Nice.
I don't
Different
have,
numbers.
I don't have that card.
Oh, man, you can swipe it anywhere.
I think I might be too brown.
I'm brown, but they gave me one.
Lucky bastard.
I would
I know.
rather be seen as white than people think that I'm a terrorist.
I used to have a friend.
I've had it several times.
My friend's dad, for the past maybe 15 years, has never called me by my first name. He's always said, "Hey, the terrorist is here."
Really?
Swear to God.
Yeah, I've had people go.
Well, I
"Look
can't
like
pronounce.
you got
I
to
can't
have
pronounce your last
a
name.
Suicide vest on.
His mom loves me to death. His dad is like, terrorist is here. Because he always thought I was going to grow up and be a fucking car bomber.
You should just blow up his car.
Listen, what creates terrorism is poverty and ignorance. If you want to defeat terrorism, you don't do it with fucking bombs, morons. It's with
There's probably
education
like 5
and it's
hits
with
left. Go
with
for it.
build schools,
hurt.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, first of all, if a terrorist has a job making $100,000 a year and gets to buy boats and houses and cars and bullshit, right? Is he going to strap on a vest?
Fuck no. He's going
And
to
go
enjoy his shit.
No.
Exactly. Now,
And that's one of the-
conversely, if that same person is in the ghetto of Syria and has no opportunity to find a job whatsoever, like none, and he's distressed, he's depressed, he's got anxiety, doesn't know what he's going to fucking do with his life.
Then you hand him an Indeed.
Yeah,
card.
I mean, it's the same thing with gangs, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the reason kids
You feed off
in
that
gangs,
depression and you influence them to do devilish shit.
you and I talked about the tribalism before the podcast started. There seems to be innate DNA propensity for humans to want to be part of a clique. We want to
Of
be
course,
long.
no
We wanna
human
fit
can
in.
exist. We're not spiders. We can't just go,
I don't like spiders.
Right.
I'm going to go build a web. Actually, fuck you. I'm not even going to tell you what I'm going to do.
I'm going to
See
take
ya.
cocaine and build a web.
You know, so if I'm a minority in South Central LA and I don't know who my dad is, my mom's working 3 jobs and I've got no role models, and this dude comes up with gold and wads of $20,000 worth of cash in his pocket driving a Mercedes and says, "Hey, come with me, I'll teach you how to do what I
Come with
did."
me.
Right?
Naprovic, you come here.
Then
happened here.
I'm probably going to follow that person. Okay, so there's no difference between ISIS and Al Qaeda than there is between the Crips and the Bloods.
Oh, for sure.
They feed on their soldiers are the same. They're staffing their ranks with the same type of person. It's an uneducated,
Slummy ass kid.
poor, kid that's susceptible to indoctrination. So how is it that America, fucking Republicans, can believe that we can send soldiers over to destroy this? That's ridiculous. You can't bomb terrorism away. No more than you can get rid of the Crips or the Bloods with police tactics.
Yeah, you've been doing.
They're
trying to do
still
that.
there,
Yeah.
people.
No, seriously.
And they will always be there if they're poor.
You can't fix acts of terrorism that are happening today in California and other places.
There's no and
How are you gonna kill ISIS?
the same piece of that. Let me throw another card into that deck. There's no difference between the Crips, the Blood, ISIS, and Al Qaeda, or the KKK.
Same shit.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's ignorance, it's uneducation, and it's poverty. And the only way to combat that is with programs of training, education, and try to find jobs for these people. Try to find a purpose. Let me not go capitalist and say jobs, but a purpose. Buddhists don't have jobs, but they have a purpose, and they don't end up being terrorists. When's the last time you seen a Buddhist blow a temple up?
I want to Google that so hard now.
0. Now, Buddhists will light themselves on fire in protest to horrific acts that are happening around the world, which is, do not Google or YouTube that. It's disgusting.
No, fucking do it. You're going to be like, what the fuck? That was
it
dope
is
as
so
shit.
horrific.
That's disturbing shit.
But,
No, man,
but
it's beautiful.
Buddhists-
A human being can
look
light
this
himself on fire and do this.
it's insane, yeah. Now, a couple of them freak out midway through and go, what
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck have I done? And start running.
Yeah.
And they put them out and they live miserably after that. But no, Buddhists have never created a war. Period. There has never been a war created by Buddhism.
It's also not a
Period.
religion.
End of story.
Period.
And I don't know that there's been, at least in modern times, I don't know that there's been a war created by Hindus. Has there?
Well, I mean, Indians have fought wars, but
Indians got conquered
But
by,
Hindus.
yeah, I don't think the religion actually started a war.
Europeans, right?
Yeah. Do what?
The Indians got conquered by the Europeans.
Right.
By English, yeah,
Yeah.
200 whole years.
But I mean, I don't think Hindus ever started a religion. So the people who start religions and Christians can't take the holier than thou card on this one, i.e. the Crusades. The only people who start religions are the 3 big Abrahamic religions, as far as religious wars.
Muslim, Catholic, and Christian.
Well, that's because they're all fighting
Well,
for the
Christians
same
are
area.
Catholics, Judaism.
Yeah, Judaism.
They're all
There you go.
fighting for the same place where Jesus supposedly actually existed,
Yeah.
which is odd because technically,
Love
my
thy neighbor.
interpretation, Muslims don't necessarily believe. They believe that Jesus was existed, that he existed, but he was more of a prophet that through the course of time continuously shows himself, comes to life and dies for us throughout time, and Jesus just happened to be one of the people that was that person.
Yeah, Muhammad
So they're like, that's fine.
came from, I mean, they all come from Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham
The son of
originally
Abraham.
comes from Adam. So Adam and Eve, supposedly, if you go back to this, Adam, through his lineage had Muhammad.
Oh yeah, well that just gets blown out of the water because then once you said Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, but it never said where Cain and Abel's wife came from.
She don't matter, man.
It couldn't have been his sister. It had to have been.
It could have been his sister. I mean, well, you know what we're talking about?
When I listened to it, it sounded like that they came from another location. They were a different they were different.
Here's
group of
the
people.
weird thing about me, especially about, I'm going to go on a slight Christianity tirade, is, I'm going to go every Tuesday night and Wednesday night and every Saturday and every Sunday, and I'm going to study and study and study stuff that happened in the Middle East 3,000 years ago. But I'm not going to try to figure out how to eat properly, have the proper nutrition. I'm not going to waste my time on anything like that. I'm not going to try to figure out where I fit in this world. I'm not going to try to educate myself. I'm not even going to be interested in any other religion. Like, what do those guys believe? That might be interesting. I mean, let me make a comparison. Let me look at these guys and look at these guys and come up with, what I think makes sense.
If you are on the pursuit of studying religion with an intent on finding one, then essentially what you're in pursuit of is what your afterlife will be like.
Right? Yeah.
So then none of this shit that happens in this world matters as long as you follow the tenets.
And it's funny you should say that, because I've always called most religions death cults. Because it's not about me today. It's not about the earth. It's not about how I fit into
Well, the
earth.
earth
It's
was
all
given
about
to us.
Yeah, it's all about what happens when I die.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
That idea is the idea that pops through all religions, regardless of what they are. And if we could do that science thing where people could go into a room for 20 minutes and pull out some shit and come out with a definitive answer, that would be completely destroyed 50-50.
Yeah.
You don't get to think about the afterlife. We just proved it doesn't exist. You have to live for today.
Imagine how that would change things.
What would happen to our world if we had to live for today? Because people are like, oh, there's starving people.
Yeah.
That's fine. They'll probably go to heaven. I will pray for them.
Oh, there's radiation leaking from Fukushima?
That's how
I'm going to heaven.
Is given.
Deuces.
Oh, people are having bad somewhere else. I'll pray for them.
Oh,
what
wait
if
a
that
minute.
goes away? Some shit stupid's happening over there?
I'll pray for
Well, we fucking only live for today. So I guess the only option we have now is to go fix that fucking problem and not worry about it and say it'll be taken care of in the afterlife.
Or all the animal species that just get wiped off the earth by our presence.
Oh, cats? Cats put to extinction something close to like 127 species.
But yet we're killing fucking pythons in the Everglades instead of picking up stray cats.
Well, the pythons in the Everglades need to go because they've wiped out everything.
What about the fucking cats? The cats have killed more species than the pythons.
Yeah, but the cats are so cute. No one
Fuck
likes
them
snakes.
That's what I'm saying. The pythons are not aggressive as everybody thinks they are. Cats are the cuddly, cute ones. Let's go. Let them fucking kill 800 birds.
That's because people imbue some animals and not other animals with
penises. Sorry, this is off topic. Do you want to come to the mall with me and Jason after we do this? I'm gonna get my snippety snip and get some yum yum sauce.
Wait, why would you ask me that now?
I don't know. I just felt like it. I'm
drunk
and
I'm trying to talk about some shit, and then you just throw in dicks, and then you want to talk about something completely different. Whoa. And that's I'm saying that's nonsense, right?
Yeah, but look, how many times?
Because I had this whole train of thought that I was fucking.
But how many times have you said nonsense shit to me while I was trying to tell you?
I always talk nonsense.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so go fuck yourself.
You don't always talk nonsense.
Yeah. But now it's my turn.
So there's already
I use my card.
How I'm gonna speak level that you are accustomed to.
But I just used it.
You can't just throw in. Look, I spit. Did you see it? It landed on the screen.
That's gross. I have to clean that now.
You can't just be throwing in new monkey wrenches up in this bitch.
Oh man, you do that all the time. How can I just do one?
But I do it all the time. So you are accustomed.
Yeah.
You can dip, dodge, dive, dodge, duck,
you know your
dodge.
car theory? That's
car
what I'm
theory?
doing. I ride in your car, listen to your music for so long, and every now and then I get to use my card and fucking play my shit.
It's the friendship card.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not giving you a beer.
Man, you just got shit out of my cooler and it's my beer.
No, it's our beer.
Did you put a ring on this finger? I think not.
I don't even know how to combat that. Beyonce.
It was in.
That wasn't me. I didn't pop the top. I would like to think
what do you... don't fuck up Steve's ass.
Wow, that sentence I never thought I would hear. That's the third sentence I never thought I would hear.
Boopity doop papa ding.
I swear to God, I have a 5-gallon bladder. Every time I pee, it's like 7 years.
It's that age, man.
Wait, you
No,
only
I have-
pee every 7 years?
Well, no. When I pee, it's like 7 years worth of urine that a normal person would carry. I pee in one session.
Okay.
I've got a 5-gallon bladder.
I pee like 15 times a day.
I wish
Yeah,
you
you've got a
gas,
little
you could fill
bird
my
bladder.
20 times a day. Like 15's cool. 25 is when I start to get pissed off. But yeah, pretty much every time I take a sip of water,
Listen,
I gotta take a piss.
when I pee, you can watch the entire Apocalypse
God.
Now Redux version,
I have a story
which is 4.5 hours.
on peeing.
I will pee 35 times in
So
that
when
4.5 slot.
I work for a beer. I'm trying to work for a beer distributor. I went in there thinking. I went in there thinking I'm gonna take a piss test.
He's working on 2
I know.
beers. He's gone.
He's gone.
I'm gone, yeah.
I-
This is actually number
I was
4.
thinking that I had to do a piss test, so they were going to give me water as they were teaching us how to lift. Yeah. So Steve's going to get some after this. So she was like, okay, lift with your back and then squat, drop your legs down. Bullshit that nobody's going to use and fuck up their back 2 years later. So I'm fucking thirsty as shit. I haven't had a drink of water in like 3 hours. And we're still doing this like heavy lifting and I'm dehydrated as like a motherfucker. So by the time I was like, okay, we all sit down in the lobby. And we're waiting for us to call us in individually, tell us that we're unhealthy as shit and move us on and do a drug test.
Yeah.
She calls me in. Everybody leaves and they're moving pretty quick. So I was like, okay, this is fast. Everybody had to pee. She calls me in. She was like, you're a smoker, huh? Yep. You don't run a lot. Nope.
From the police.
You should probably do that because you barely passed. Handing me my shit and I was on my way and I was like,
If I can cut in for one thing, my buddy told me this and I'll never forget it. Almost doesn't count,
horseshoes and hand grenades.
but barely does.
Okay, so here's my question. Are you going to do anything differently?
Differently?
Like they said, you're basically unhealthy as fuck.
Yeah,
you
I
fat
have to
ass.
start doing more cardio, so I'm going to start running around my neighborhood every now and then.
Get a gym membership, dude.
Don't
No,
get a
that's
gym
a waste
membership.
money.
Not if you have someone to go with you.
True. PSE is cheaper. Anyway.
I hate going to the gym.
So
I went this morning.
they handed me the thing, and I was like, oh, I have to go to urgent care to get a piss test. So I was like, I'm going to go pick up the cheap one and get some water because I'm thirsty. Thought there was water in my car. No water. So I drove 45 minutes all the way to my house, went to CVS, bought that shit because that's all I'm thinking about.
that shit.
Drank some water, pissed. My piss looked darker than that.
Because you're dehydrated
As fuck. Yeah.
How much water do you drink a day?
I usually drink like 2 bottles a day.
Dude, you're supposed to have at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day.
Yeah, I'm not healthy. So
No.
my piss was like orange juice. And I was like, that shouldn't look like that. I need a lot of water right now. So I drank like 3 bottles of water and then I drank fucking a gallon of water on the way to fucking do the piss test so I could pee. Because I pissed like 4 times when I was there.
No, man. People need to be healthy.
You need to drink a gallon of water every day.
Your
at
body
least.
is your temple. The dude abides, by the way. He abides.
Weak sauce.
What are we into?
Huh?
Time-wise.
34 minutes.
Okay, so for those of you who are new, maybe some Steve, the Unicorn fans and or some Ion CBD people that have recently discovered us. So everyone really does this, right? You have a couple drinks, maybe some smokes, and you sit around, you pontificate, and you philosophize. So that is what the Three Philosophers is about. Everyone's had these conversations. Everyone's questions
just
religion.
record it.
I just think personally
Politics.
what this is about is showing people that critical thinking.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, it's empty. I'm sorry, man. I mean, you got a little bit, but that's going to be hard.
That hurt, didn't it?
Especially because that was a gargantuan hit.
If anybody that's out there listening, since
we
we're
just want to imbue critical thinking into more people.
Yeah, question shit. Question everything.
I mean, you don't have to be a fucking scientist to ask questions.
Exactly.
You don't have to be anything to ask anything.
And conversely to that, no one knows everything.
No.
I mean, we were just Brett and I were talking before we had the podcast. We had the pre-podcast. And my argument was atheist and or like Michio Kaku was on Joe Rogan, and he was arguing against psychedelics because he's a scientist and he doesn't need to do psychedelics. And Joe was asking him, well, how do you know if you've never done them? Well, I don't need to. Again, don't trust anyone. You don't have to have 100% faith in your pastor, in your priest, in your teacher, in your parents, in anybody. You need to use your own fucking brain, but use it not from a cocky perspective, right? Not fuck the world kind of attitude, but understand
that's
that
all you can really do.
Well, my point is,
I think, therefore I am. Think is all that can then take place. So you might as well learn the best ways to do such.
I mean, but question not in a fuck you. I don't believe what you say. Yeah. Fuck you. No, you need to have an open mind. You need to open up. It's the opposite of being closed. You need to open up to every perspective, to every idea. Is there Bigfoot? I don't fucking know. Possibly. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of years of stories of Yeti, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, skunk ape across every continent on the planet for human history.
I think you can even say that, I think the thoughts that I have are right. Let me go pursue and try to see if they're incorrect.
Absolutely. You can go that perspective.
There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
But the point is, you can never adamantly disbelieve hardly anything. There's very few things in life that you can adamantly, 100%, unequivocally say, this is bullshit. And for any scientist or any professor or any theologian to 100% say, this is fact, that's hard to do. There's very little facts in life. Very little.
Really, the main one when people start talking about shit like that, because I listen to a lot of debates. Basically, when people jump into that realm, the only thing that they can pull out of their pocket is gravity.
Exactly. But every Sunday, there's a priest up on the pulpit telling you factual. This is fact. You've got to believe. You've got to trust in this. What I tell you is true. That's that person's interpretation of a book that's been translated 7,000 times across 3,000 years. There's no way that thing is any resemblance of what was first written down 3,000 years ago.
Fuck you. There was shit written down before that. The Tao Te Ching was written 500 years before Jesus was even a fucking thought.
Yeah.
500 years? You know what can happen in 500 years?
Lots.
I don't know. 500 years worth of shit.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, we're only 200 years old as a fucking country.
And the shit that came before him is malarkey, and the shit that came after him is malarkey. But that's kind of crazy.
Only
because
this one little window is truth.
I have been playing around with making a comic book about religion. And essentially how it goes is all the large head deities, Earth comes around, and they're like, holy shit, we have to gamble for Earth. We need to send all our children, the demigods, to this school to learn how to get people's praise. And the more praise that you learn how to get, the more power you have, and the more power you have, you get to control Earth. Well, Jesus Christ's name in this is Oscar, and everyone in the thing says Jesus Christ, like everyone does now. And essentially all he does is change his name from Oscar to Jesus, and everyone says his name already, so he gets the most power to control the planet.
You know what's really scary about that?
Is that it already happened, because that's how everyone on this planet use Jesus Christ to determine what year it is.
No. besides that. So you know how I feel about crystal skulls.
Yeah.
Or is that what they're called? Crystal skulls?
They're just called some sugar skulls.
Sugar skulls. Yeah. Anyway, the weird skull with the crazy eyes. Usually it's a Mexican type thing. Basically, when I was in Peru and did ayahuasca, one of the visions I had was this creature, this thing.
Got intense.
And it was the skull with the crazy eyes. And when I showed up in this other dimension, whatever, that's what everyone was doing. They were idolizing and praising this entity, right? And it needed that like calories. Just like we need air to live, or we need sustenance, it needed their adoration. So, I mean, you might not be too far off.
Well, I mean, partly the reason I came up with that idea was because one of Graham Hancock's ideas is that Jesus is actually essentially like Quetzalcoatl. He's a demonic god that requires
love,
worship,
adoration.
Period. Yeah. He's an evil, jealous, gross god. Whatever definition.
Don't believe in those other gods. You must believe in me. I'm the only true God.
You use to describe.
It says it in the Bible.
The evil parts of God is what this thing is. And it's Jesus, and it just requires
love.
Homage to exist. And it's an evil, gross being.
And if you believe in a different God, I'm going to strike you down.
Smite you.
You can't believe in another God. Yeah. You can't even draw pictures of me. Or we'll kill you.
Muhammad.
Yep.
The whole thing about the comic, the guy who drew...
that guy died.
Yeah.
The French guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Because he drew a picture of Muhammad.
That's the craziest fucking thing on the planet.
You can't draw a picture
Abrahamic
of
religion is the weirdest religion.
It's weird.
Get fucking super bent out of shape and want to butt fuck Islam for killing someone for
here's the
idea.
weird thing for me is it's 2017 and we still have people who adamantly unquestionably believe in stuff from thousands of years ago without any critical thought.
Just don't question
that's because
anything.
It started
If
with,
you
are a
listen,
religious person, it's not because you chose that religion.
I was raised Catholic.
95% that your parents were religion.
But I was raised
indoctrination from child state.
It didn't stick. I was raised Catholic.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
I
not
went
always
to
gonna
church.
stick, but majority of the time it does.
You know, most of my family is religious.
I went to a lot of Southern Baptist church.
Are raised by Christian parents and don't grow up Christian?
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
How many people are raised Islamic and not grow up Islamic?
Hardly any.
Judaism.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where do those parents get it? And where does their parents get it? And where do their parents get it?
But if I'm Christian, you're automatically wrong.
Oh yeah, because
mine's the only religion. So if your parents taught you Islam, you're just fucked up.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And I'm Jewish, and both of you guys are fucking
exactly
talking shikshva.
Nope. You don't believe in the right God. You're wrong.
You're stupid.
How?
I'm gonna stab you.
And
fuck you.
I'm stabbing you.
I'm stabbing him for stabbing you for stabbing me.
And thus is the earth we live on.
And that is ridiculous.
And that's why we all fight war and terrorism.
If we can even come up with a 49% chance, that is all complete malarkey. It can be explained away through human psychology on a mass effect. Like the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
If it can be explained away the same way the Mandela effect can be.
That's a whole different thing, though.
Okay,
if we have that gone, what if we
talking
can,
stick?
Well, I'm talking, and I wasn't even past it. No, I'm not taking it. Cool. I choose my time to be silent.
Okay, what if all religions were treated like bands you liked? No one kills someone for liking Def Leppard, although maybe they should. But, I mean...
Pour some sugar on me.
I mean, okay, so what? You like Def Leppard and I think you're queer, but I mean, besides that, I'm not going to war. So why can't we be like that with religion? Who cares what the fuck you believe or disbelieve or don't believe?
Like Def Leppard. I think you're queer.
Exactly.
I think you're queer because you wear a fucking O'Neill hat.
Exactly.
Fag.
But we don't fight over it. And so what is it about religion that I have to kill another person, even though 99.9 of all religion says don't kill people?
There's
Moses
loopholes
for
learned
that.
the 10 Commandments, they went and slaughtered a group of people.
It's insane. All of it's insane. All of it's stupid. It's stupid.
It tells you
one day we'll grow out of it.
This is right, the others are wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like a team. My team's the best team. Your team sucks.
Yeah.
I like the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck all y'all.
That's how I feel about religion. That's my best analogy for it.
Yeah, it's
Islam,
like a team.
And I'm Christian. We're in the same. You're the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm Tampa Bay. We're the same thing, but we hate each other.
But
Why?
if you step back for a second and realize how stupid it all really is, and
It's
we're all human.
But it's really not like teams.
It kind of is.
Because if you say
It
it's
kinda
like in the
is.
Jaguars, it's like saying,
Well, check
if
this out.
The Jaguars don't win, then the rest of humanity dies.
No. There's 3 teams in Florida. Now, this is how I use it with Christianity and Catholic. Catholic, Judaism, and
Islam.
So Jacksonville, Buccaneers, Miami Dolphins. They all hate each other. Why? But they live in the same state.
They live in the same state. Yeah, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity all live on the same earth.
It's about money.
Not even. It's not even about money. When I lived in Alabama, and this was fucking crazy. If you want to understand this principle, move to central Alabama. I moved up there, and you were either Alabama or fucking Auburn, period.
Oh, LSU.
And I would look at these people, and they'd never gone to a college, much less the University of Alabama.
Shit. Yeah.
And not only have they not gone to college, but no one in their family had ever gone to college. Their parents didn't go to college. Their sister or brother didn't go to college. Any college. But by God, they wore Alabama shirts and Alabama hats and Alabama belts and Alabama trucks and Alabama.
Plug.
Yeah.
Literally, a guy...
This guy is a pom-pom.
When I moved there in 2002, literally, this really happened. It was in the news. A father and son got in a fight over the Alabama-Auburn football game, and the son apparently was Auburn, and the father shot his son for saying shit about Alabama.
That doesn't surprise me, though. That really
Literally
doesn't
shot
surprise me.
his son.
Okay, now you see how unimportant sports are on the bearing of normal people's lives. And that's how much emphasis...
Not to these people.
And that's how much emphasis is given on them. And then you take sports and you tack on...
Your eternal soul.
Rules on governing yourself for
your eternal
soul.
soul. Yeah.
And people are shooting themselves over nonsense games.
Yeah.
And people have been killing themselves over supreme ideas that dictate what
Let's
happens
agree on
afterwards.
this. So all religion is sports teams on steroids.
Pretty much. We got to cut
Absolutely,
this short.
yeah.
We're
I got to
running
get a
out.
haircut.
All right, brother.
All right, guys. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. If you don't comment,
And you can win this.
And you don't
$150
subscribe.
value. We'll ship it to you.
yeah.
Look, now I just want to say this one thing.
If you made it this far.
We are giving this thing out, but we're not giving it out to be like, we're giving out free shit. No, this shit is...
It helps.
We're giving it out because
It
works.
Definitely had an absolutely
people won't believe it unless they try
gargantuan
it.
effect on my life that I will never be able to articulate in words. And we are just dealing with shit that we are all the way for.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
just
all
don't
three
want
of
people
us.
to think it's a gimmicky type thing. No, we really want this shit to be spread. And it just so happens that we live in a capitalist society and there's ways to do things This is just how it's going, but it's a thing we enjoy.
I mean, we try to do
beyond
more shit
words.
in the future, but this is in a special case that you'll hear what we say, but you won't believe it unless you try it.
You got to
Yeah.
try it.
Because so many people have such shit CBD, like Chinese bullshit.
Yeah.
This is the legit,
This is real.
good United
full
States
spectrum.
And I'll
grown
tell you
stuff.
what, there is the only side effect on the negative side is there's a 2% chance it won't work.
Yeah.
And that just means that you should try another one. And it'll just be another 2%
But even then, it might
chance
not
that that
give you a
won't work.
complete body high. It might just help your pain. It might just make your body feel better.
It
Reduce your
literally
anxiety.
is interpreted differently by everybody.
But we're gonna end this.
But overall, it's just yummy.
I need my top cut back, and we need to get the fuck out.
Yes.
Peace.
I'm going to get my butthole waxed.
Like, subscribe,
Shit.
A
comment.
little bit.
Oh, we get to leave all this stuff here.